Time to bring it on.
All right.
Okay, this first one is from Christian, who says, is it okay to date a girl who believes in God, but we have different denominations? She grew up in a Catholic church and I did not, but she's willing to go to church with me. Is it okay to date?
Christian, learn from your name. You know, if you believe in God, you're a Christian.
Yes.
The denominational differences that we have are actually really minor compared to, do you believe in God? Do you believe that Jesus came? Do you believe that he died on a cross for your sins? Do you believe that he rose again from the grave? Do you believe these things? We make a lot of, hay out of all the denominational differences, and you just say, I'm a Christian, you're a Christian too. Wouldn't that be great?
I think that's
And let me
true.
add something. You're describing my parents. My father was a Baptist. My mother was a Catholic.
That's funny. My mother was a Lutheran. My father was Catholic. Very ecumenical.
It leads to wonderful fights.
Yes. And ecumenical children. Okay, this is Elizabeth Gordon, who says, I'm a mother of 5 and my youngest daughter died in August at the age of 18. I'm grieving. How can I overcome and move beyond the situation? It's hard to accept. Please help.
Elizabeth, I would say give yourself a break. This happened in August. To try to say you're going to be over grieving in December, no. So often we resist grieving when we should just give to it and say, let's grieve. What you've gone through is horrible. No parent wants to go through it. But realize the God of all comfort knows exactly what you're going through. God had a son who died. So he understands, and you can take this grief to him. Don't resist it. Go through the process and realize that over time it works out, and ask God for help with it. And in that, you'll find that God of all comfort. And it's not. I don't think it's something you get over. I think it'll be with you for some time, be with you for the rest of your life until you're reunited with him in heaven. So hold on to that promise that there's a great reunion coming, but go through the process.
This is Tim, who says, my hand got cut off in a work accident. I'm 50 years old and just got married. I'm so angry with God. When bad things happen in life, how do we keep our faith?
Tim, that's a question for the ages, a question for the book of Job. Job certainly was living a very righteous life. He was even extolled in heaven. Have you considered my servant Job? How righteous he is. And then Job had a whole series of catastrophes, lost his family, lost all his wealth, lost his health, lost everything. And he still said, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away, blessed be the name of the Lord. For your specific injury, why are you blaming God for an accident? Is a theological question I ask you. And instead of blaming him for the accident, why don't you look to him to be the source of how do you get through it? How do you go on with life now? And where do you go? Where are you going to take all that pain? If you're angry with God about it, rethink that and think, what can God do at this point in my life to help me? And abandon any sense that he's against you or somehow he's judged you, but come to him as the source of all love, all comfort, all understanding, and you'll see a difference. It'll make a huge difference in your life.
This is Jerry Gordon, who says, I met my wife in church and we got married. We divorced 7 years later. However, we reconciled and have been happily married for 16 years. We both serve in our church. I'm an elder and she plays the piano. Recently, she's not been happy at our church, so she began going to a different one. We've had a lot of people leaving recently because of the new younger pastor. I feel torn because I feel our first church is where I belong, but I don't think we should be attending different places on Sunday. Any advice?
I'd sit down and talk with your wife. It seems like you need a session of detente. You need to have, coming together to say, okay, why do you want to go to a new church? And explain why you still feel called to be in that church. and how you feel as an elder you're responsible and you don't want to abandon it. And just see and talk it out. It could be there's a season where, yeah, you go to different churches, and that's okay. That's nothing wrong with that. And then see over time, can you start going again together? But I would just encourage the talk. I would encourage you to pray together and pray specifically over these kinds of issues, and just see what God will do. And when you always seek God, if you put Him first, He will direct your path.